The scene returned to silence. Even the rain and the wind sounded louder. That was probably also the sound of the windstorm that disturbed the insides of their minds. Alright everybody, welcome back to some more Umineko, When They Cry. Last time we had a big discussion with the family members, with the siblings, about a lot of different stuff, right? I mean, it started off many different ways, but they were talking about the mistress, about Kinzo having a mistress. This has been mentioned before in episode 1, about how Kinzo possibly had a mistress called Beatrice, right? So this is not news. We've heard about this. However, what is news was that they were theorizing about him having a mansion, a secret mansion in the forest where she lived in for over 30 years. So 30 years since this mansion was built, and they moved in here. And then at the very end, the second piece of news was that they theorized that this entire letter was just a ploy or like a trade by Beato for the inheritance in exchange for 10 tons of gold, which is also the same thing as 20 billion yen, which is around roughly the same thing as $200 million. Now, $200 million, just think about that, okay? I mean, $20 million, for example, forget 200 million. 20 million alone is enough to calmly reassure you for the rest of your life, okay? That's enough money to have you chilling the rest of your life, okay? Like, that is crazy money, alright? You don't have to worry about your life if you have 20 million, okay? So 200 million here, that's the trade in exchange for Beato getting the inheritance. That was the theory they landed upon, and that was why they thought this entire letter thing was created, right? Why she gave the letter to Maria, who then, you know, read it out loud to us. The rest of what they're talking about was mostly just things we already know, or just cool character interactions that just add to their dynamics. Same thing, alright? Otherwise, what happened last part at the start? I believe at the start we had a little bit of the cousins, right? Talk about their parents being filthy, and then George going like, okay, but the parents have their own reasons for doing this. Again, things we've already seen in previous episodes. So far, I'll be honest, other than the Runovis stuff, episode 3's been pretty unoriginal, okay? Like, we know this for the most part, right? I'm waiting for the cool stuff to happen. Usually the cool stuff to happen, it takes a couple of chapters. It takes a good 5 or 6 chapters before things ramp up. The start usually things we know, or whatever, right? It's not that I'm not interested. Okay, I just want to clear that up. It's not that I'm not interested. I'm still very interested, okay? It's just, we already know all of this stuff. So, the real ramp up, the real, you know, payoff of this is going to happen later on. This slower part where we learn context and see different theories, this is still very important, and we need that to get the best payoff. So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it has been as expected. Things as we already know. They're arguing about witches existing and whatnot. And yeah, we also got a bit of information about the grandmother here, Kinzo's wife. Just a tiny bit of information about how she suspected him, and that she was very paranoid about, well, I say paranoid, more like she just heavily suspected Kinzo of cheating on her. So there was that, before she died. We have not been revealed as to why she died, but she did die eventually, a long time ago. So yeah, I think it's time to get into it now. I think I've recapped last time well enough. Alright. Yeah. So, the rain and wind sounded louder. That was probably also the sound of the windstorm that disturbed the insides of their minds. Alright.
冗談じゃないわよ。多少お金を積まれたくらいで。どこの馬の骨とも知れない女に家督を譲るなんて。
So yeah, we're just following up on what I was just talking about in the intro there, and last time, right, about her giving the family money, and then she just tossed the headship, and now Eva's saying that's a joke, that she wouldn't just give up the family headship.
もともとお前に家督なんぞいかんやないか。わしらは何も失わずに金だけをもらえる話やで。
Nothing to lose and money to gain. Alright, Hideyoshi makes a good point here.
そら損得感情は必要やろが、聞くに値する話や。
Alright, so the person who wins the most out of this is clearly Rosa, right? Because not only does she not even have a husband, but she has her own little hobby business going on. So Rosa's gonna gain big things from this. Big things. The person who loses the most is obviously Cross, who's supposed to be next in line to inherit the headship. They knew that much of the Ishiruma family assets had been eaten up by Cross. Much of the Ishiruma assets, yeah. The dregs that remained of that inheritance versus the compensation for being accepted as the head that Beatrice would pay. It was a shame, but honestly, the former was less enticing than the latter. It's true. That's why Eva, Rudolph, and Rosa would gain a lot more by the latter. So, it's honestly, I'll take it, because if they try to learn about the riddle of the epitaph, I could get some clues. I could try to solve this thing. If I get some more clues, I'll take it.
まあ、4等分とはならねえだろうな。次期当主を降りることになる兄貴に取り分が多くなるのはやむを得ねえだろうよ。
Dude, it's 20 billion yen, $200 million, bro. Are you crazy? Who cares? Who cares if he gets a larger amount? You get more than enough to sustain your company. Don't worry, 200 million.
羨ましい話だぜ。
Makes me feel kind of jealous, you know? I disagree. I mean, I see your point, but also, even if he gets, I don't know, instead of it being split into 25, 25, 25, 25, right? 25% each, right? And let's say he gets 30%, and then the rest of the 70% gets split into into 3. I mean, whatever, right? I mean, it's still so much money. It's still that's still plenty of millions. Cross.
あなた金額の問題じゃないでしょ。不甲斐ない弟たちはお金で後宮家の栄光を売り払うつもりなのですよ。ここで長男の威厳を示さずして何とするのです。
Why aren't you displaying your dignity as the eldest son?
夏希、しばらく黙っていなさい。
Natsu, stay quiet.
あなた
こりゃクラッとくる話だぜ。俺たちは兄貴から2億半ずつ引っ張ろうと思ってた。もし魔女様が俺たちに10トンのうちの1割も弾んでくれたら、
Exactly, right? Even 10%, that's more than good enough for y'all, right? That's solid, right? Like, that's a much better deal.
20億ね。
That's 2 billion. Wait, is that how? Wait, Rudolph, you're the CEO of a company. 10% of 20 billion, mate. Yeah, that's some good money. 2 billion or 250 million? Just saying.
俺たちは当初の見積もりの10倍も弾まれちまうことになる。そんだけあれば俺たちは十分だぜ。どうせ後宮なんて名前に未練はねえんだ。
It's not like I have any attachment to the Shiro in my name. Okay, Rudolph.
喜んで売っ払ってやら。
I'll be happy to sell it off.
10トンすべてを提供してくれるかはさすがに川山用だとしても、なるほど、私たちにとって魅力的な話になるわね。私たちはベアトリーチェなどというよそ者を弾き出すために兄弟同盟を組もうとしていた。
They're showing their true colors. We were trying to form an alliance among the siblings to kick this outsider called Beatrice out.
しかし彼女の目論みがこうならば、私たち兄弟の団結はバラバラにされるわ。ええ、今こそはっきり断言できる。ベアトリーチェの手紙の目的は 私たちの結束をかき乱すことなのよ。
The goal of Beatrice's letter was to disturb our alliance. If the three younger siblings were never going to have any connection with the succession of the headship in the first place, were paid enough money to satisfy them, they would happily accept Beatrice as the next head. So every obstacle to her headship would be removed except for Cross. In that case, the negotiations would be one-on-one between her and Cross. He tried to look strong, but Cross's financial and political situation was extremely weak. He did bluff in front of his siblings, but on the inside, he was probably thinking that it might be alright to enter negotiations depending on the sum of money involved. In order to bury his losses, Cross had taken advantage of the fact that Kinzo had shut himself up in his room and had embezzled Kinzo's personal assets. So he did embezzle Kinzo's assets! Wow! Wow. Rude. Therefore, when Kinzo died and the inheritance was distributed, Cross would be held to account for that. But if he gave up his seat as the head to Beatrice, she would also receive the rights to the assets, and as a result, the distribution of the inheritance to the siblings would not occur. In other words, Cross's embezzlement might not have to be made known to the other siblings. Of course, the siblings were frightened of Kinzo, but it was doubtful whether they still actually respected him as a father. By this time, they each had their own families, their own wealth, and their own lives. If they were paid enough money in exchange for Rokkenjima, the wrecked remains of Kinzo's dreams, there was a significant possibility that they would relinquish the Ishinomiya family name. In other words, Beatrice's victory was already guaranteed in this game. Not as the winner of Beatrice's game, but as the winner of Kinzo's game. Kinzo had put up the epitaph, and to this day no one had been able to solve it. So Beatrice had solved it. In other words, this is less of a game and more like Beatrice's declaration of victory. However, Kiria still felt something was slightly out of place. If this was a declaration of victory, Beatrice would only have to display the gold openly and state that she would buy the family headship. Correct? Why would she force us to solve the riddle then? She could have done this in a much less roundabout way. Just like we talked about before. And yet, even at this late stage, she was explicitly telling the siblings to try to solve the epitaph. Why had she set up this new game where she agreed to hand over all of the gold and the right to succeed the head to the person who solved the epitaph? Kiria tried flipping over the chessboard several times, searching for the best strategy that might have guided Beatrice to this line of thinking. In the end, she reached a single conclusion. Alright, Kiria, show us your wisdom!
おごりなのかしら。
Arrogance, perhaps?
あるいは遊び？
She's playing?
何の話？
What are you talking about?
魔女は碑文を解いてみろと私たちに挑戦状を送ったわ。どうせ解けないだろうと高をくくってるでしょうけどね。でも何万分の1かの確率で私たちが解いてしまう可能性もあるはず。
There should be at least an extremely small chance that we will solve it.
何しろここにはお父さんの血を引く子供が4人もいるのよ。出題者の血縁者が4人も揃い、財産を奪われまいと死に物狂いで知恵を出し合ったなら、偶然にも謎が解けてしまうこともあるかもしれない。
So if the four siblings work together hard enough, they will be able to solve the riddle. The reason the witch had a superior position on the negotiations compared to the siblings was that only she knew the location of the hidden gold. Right. But if that hiding place was exposed to someone other than her, the witch's superior position would crumble.
つまり 魔女の手紙に書かれている挑発文はベアトリーチェにとってリスクにしかならないのよ。
She's only risking this challenge.
確かに兄弟の連帯を分断するという効果はあったけれど、それを狙うためだけにわずかとはいえこのようなリスクを、私は不用心だと思う。
Okay, you're saying that it's reckless.
でもね、ある種の感情を念頭に置いたとき、このリスクは理解可能になるのよ。
But if you keep in mind a certain type of emotion, it becomes possible to understand that risk.
それがおごりだというの？
And you're saying that's arrogance? Honestly, if we ignore the whole witch stuff and magic, they're not too far off. She's an arrogant woman.
ええ、そうよ。圧倒的な優位に立つと人はおごるわ。すると敗者に対しその優位性をひけらかすために微小なリスクをわざと背負うことがある。
She's trying to show off the advantage to the losers.
適度なリスクは勝利の喜びを引き立たせるスパイスだもの。リスクなき勝利ほど退屈なものはない。
Nothing is as boring as victory without risk.
わかるわ。
Yep, and we all know Beatrice. She hates boredom. That's her entire goal.
私もそういうのよくわかるわ。
Oops. I thought she was done talking. Alright. I also like that sort of thing. I understand well.
ベアトリーチェの手紙の真意をもっともらしくいろいろと解釈してみたけれど、実はこれが真実かもしれない。あの手紙の裏に潜む感情はおごりなのよ。
The emotion hidden behind that letter was arrogance.
おごり。
Arrogance.
難解な碑文がお前たちに解けるものかと私たちを見下して威張り散らしたいのよ。案外ひょっとすると碑文はお父さんじゃなく彼女が作ったのかもしれないわね。
Might be even possible that the epitaph wasn't written by father, but by her.
上等じゃないの。碑文の謎が解けるかですって。
Solve the riddle of the epitaph, she says.
もしも解いたなら私を当主にしてくれるのね。
Here we go, younger Eva. She comes into the play. If only I solve it, that would be made the head, right? Yes, Eva. Try to solve it. Give me some hints, Eva. You're a clever woman. Eva's actually a really smart woman. If she can give you some clues, right? She's one of the blood-related members. She's the second oldest sibling. Just saying. Eva could give me some big clues here if she tries to solve it. I'm so down for this. I need the clues. I need the help I can get.
解いてやる。魔女の挑戦を受けてやるわ。
Alright. Younger Eva at least is accepting the witch's challenge. Middle schooler Eva is telling 50 or something year old Eva that she'll accept the challenge.
他の間抜けな兄弟たちに解けるものか。
Ooh, as if my other brain dead siblings could solve it.
私一人が解いて、私こそが後ろ宮家を引き継ぐにふさわしいということを証明してやるわ。
And this way you won't even have to bother with George anymore and trouble his life. He can continue with whatever life he wants to, and then you can try to get the throne, to get the headship. It can be perfect.
その挑戦乗ったわ。私が謎を解いてやる。
Eva will solve the riddle. Here we go. Oh, that's the end of the chapter. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. Whoa, we're moving by this quickly. It's 9 p.m. Whoa. Possibility for 19th person. Whoa. Whoa, guys. Okay. We're moving by this much faster than previous episodes.
なるほどな。
Okay, Battler's talking to Beato here. We are moving by this much faster than we were previously. We're doing chapter 4, I think, now. And we've been recording what? This is the 6th or something part? 6th part, maybe? 5th part? I don't know. 6th? I don't know. That's crazy. We really have been moving by this quickly. And there's 15 chapters. Okay, that's a good thing, though. Okay.
魔女じゃなくベアトリーチェという名の愛人が島に存在していたわけか。
So not a witch, but a mistress by the name of Beatrice did exist on the island. Yeah, that's the theory they're going with. And Eva's accepted the challenge. Considering Eva's accepted the challenge, I don't know. If Eva's accepted the challenge, then, you know, maybe she's gonna be more relevant this episode. We'll see. This episode might be the Eva episode, similar to how episode 2 was Rosa's episode and episode 1 was Natsu's episode. So maybe we'll get an Eva episode this time.
つまり人間は18人以上いるということは18人全員に不可能だから魔法犯罪であるという図式は崩せるわけだ。これは大きい情報だぜ。
Which means I can defeat that line of reasoning which says that if it was impossible for all 18 people, it must be a crime involving magic. That's some big information.
失礼いたします。
Hey, welcome back, Ronove. What do you want with me now? I thought I was gonna be talking to Beato, not you.
マトラ様、紅茶とクッキーはいかがですか？
What'd you get for some black tea and cookies? Get out of here! Beato's butler, who called himself Ronove, appeared out of nowhere in particular. Placed upon the silver tray that he held was a plate filled with delicious-looking steaming black tea and cookies. Right. I really don't like this guy's smile. Yeah, this guy's weird. He's weird. For some reason, it doesn't look like a smile used to warmly greet a guest. It feels like he's making fun of me for some reason. I don't know whether he really takes me for an idiot, or whether it's just a joke or something, but it's really irritating me.
いらねえよ。
いらねえよ。
俺は今取り込み中なんだ。放っておいてくれ。
おやおや、それは美味しく焼けたクッキーなのにとても残念です。人間ごときにはもったいないくらいに素敵に焼き上がった。それは素敵なクッキーなのに。
Okay, so why are you giving them to me then? Give them to one of your fellow demons. If you're gonna call me a simple human.
気が向いたら食ってやるぜ。その辺に置いて、とっとと失せな。
さようでございますか。それではそのようにいたしますね。冷めてからお召し上がりになって、焼きたてを召し上がらなかったことを存分に後悔なされると良いでしょう。
Damn, okay, he's mocking me now.
いちいちうるさいやつだな。まあ、耳元で気色悪くケラケラ笑うベアトのやつよりゃ、マシだね。
You know what? That's fair. At least this guy's better than Beato's cackling over and over. Like, shut up. I'll take Ronove instead. I'm fine with this, actually. At least he pretends to be nice, even though we know he's got some ruse going on. At least he pretends. Beato's just a piece of garbage. She's just trash. I don't want to see her again.
いえいえ、まったく。
You also hate her cackling, right?
お嬢様の笑い声は時折、
Yes!
実に品があります。
Yes! Thank you! Your lady, or the garbage, the piece of trash, if you wanna call her that. Yes, she's very undignified. No, we do not like her here. This is a no Beato zone allowed here.
それを聞くたびに、なぜ私ほどの高貴な悪魔があのようなものを主にしなければならないのか、理解に苦しむのでございますよ。
Hey yo, you better be hoping she didn't hear you say that. Bro, what? Just become... Hey, listen, Ronove. Become my servant. Ronove, switch sides. Do the X-Trick. Do the Conjuro. Switch sides. Change team. Join my team, Ronove. You can join me and Burn Castle. Beato and Lambda Delta and her goats and those, those sexy babes. Who cares? Join me, Ronove. We can team up. Just saying. Okay, what is that called again? I need to look it up. What's the what is this called again? It's called a monocle. Monocle. He's wearing a monocle. Hey, can I call you Monocle instead of Ronove from now on? I'll call you Monocle. Join my team. Join my team, mate.
変なやつだな。そんなに嫌なら使えなきゃいいだろうが。
Alright, just don't work for her. Work for me, bro. It's gonna be worth it.
それでもなおお使いするのが家具の喜びなのでございます。
Come on.
それでなくては家具は務まりません。それはさておき、ゲームの方はいかがでございますか？先ほど良い情報を見つけたようなことを言われ、お喜びになられていたようですが、はてさて、どのような浅知恵が思いついたやら。
Shallow wit, frick you. As Ronove made fun of me and giggled, he followed my earlier words to the letter and placed the black tea and cookies somewhere arbitrary nearby. Alright.
お方、19人目の存在に自信を深めたからでございましょう。よろしければ、ぜひご講説をお聞かせ願いますか？
ああ、いいぜ。どうせベアトの前で改めて言うしな。隠す必要もないさ。
No reason to hide it.
いいか、この島に隠し屋敷があって愛人を住まわせていたらしいんだ。となりゃ俺を苦しめてきた18人なのか19人なのかって疑問は簡単。
マトラ様は魔女を否定するくせに、
Whoops, I did that again.
18人の中にも犯人を求められないダブルスタンダードの袋小路に自ら追い込まれました。
Yes.
魔女を否定する最も簡単な方法は18人の誰かを疑うことだ。18人全員のアリバイはそう簡単には揃わない。常に一人くらいはアリバイの脆い人間が生まれる。俺はそいつを生贄にすることで常に魔女を否定し続けることもできるだろう。
To be fair, it's also kind of sus for him to have too strong of an alibi, because then they obviously, the culprit were trying to create an alibi for themselves, no? I could probably continue to deny the witch forever if I just used that person as a sacrifice.
しかしそれは断固拒否せ。ああ、ダメだぜ。全然ダメだ。
ダメだぜ、全然ダメだ。
18人はみんな俺にとって親たちや親戚たちやいとこたち、そして真面目だったり面白かったりする頼もしい使用人の人たちだ。俺はその人たちの誰を生贄にすることも許せない。
What about Nanjo? He's not a relative, he's not a parent, he's not a cousin, or a reliable servant? Question mark?
かつて俺はその決意があやふやだった。だからその心の弱さをベアトに疲れたんだ。
自らの弱点を認め理解する、なかなかできることではありません。マトラ様は19人目が存在する説を槍にする。槍というよりは盾でしょうかな。
Ooh, a shield, you say?
いずれにせよ、これまでのゲームでの無策と違い、戦い方に指針を持たれるのは劇的飛躍と申せましょう。これでバトラ様は敬愛する18人を疑わずに存分に19人目を疑い、人間犯人説を追求できるわけでございます。
そういうことさ。最初のゲームのカノン君が殺されたボイラー室とか、他にも19人目が存在していたなら迷う必要なんかないトリックはいくつもある。
In the very first game, Kanon-kun had been killed in the boiler room. Yes, I remember. One might think that he was attacked by Kumasawa-san, who had gone down into the boiler room with him. Or maybe that someone who had appeared to be dead earlier was actually faking, and had ambushed Kanon-kun in the boiler room. Either way, it was a move that forced me to suspect one of the 18. However, by simply proposing that a 19th person exists, there's no longer any need to suspect one of the 18 for that murder in the boiler room.
つまり18人の誰にも無理だからイコール犯人は魔女という図式だけは否定することができるわけさ。
Aha! Using this argument, we can take, for example, the question which has been raised once again in this game: who gave Mari the letter, the 19th person? And come up with an easy explanation. Even if all 18 people have alibis, I can easily explain everything by saying that a 19th person visited her and gave her the letter. Here's the problem, Battler. The problem will start when Beatos calls in red a 19th person doesn't exist. That's when the problem really starts. That if she decides to do that.
ふむふむ
Hmm.
とても良い一手だと思いますよ。
You think?
私だったらどう切り返しましょうか。
How would I strike back?
たとえバトラ様が理解されたとしても未だに弱点は健在。18人攻めは有効な手でしょうね。バトラ様の守りがどの程度か確かめる意味でも改めてそこをつくのも面白いかもしれません。
ならどう来る？悪魔の執事。
How would you do it, Demon Butler?
バトラ様が刺された19人目の駒を迎え撃つのが妥当でございまし
The
ょう。
playing Core. That's one of my favorite soundtracks. I love Core. I believe it would be appropriate to attack this 19th piece that you have played.
バトラ様は19人目にお会いしておりませんね。19人目が存在する証拠をお願いできますかな。
We do not have proof, unfortunately.
アメーゼ。もちろんその指し手で来るだろうことは読んでいる。
Okay.
それは受け手をお願いいたします。
Please respond to it.
魔女だの悪魔だのお前らにこれほどふさわしい一手はないぜ。それがこいつ。
Ha!
悪魔の証明さ。
The devil's proof. Correct. You cannot prove that they do not exist. You cannot prove that they do not exist. But you can prove that a 19th person exists. You can prove that they exist, but you cannot prove that they do not exist. When we humans are accused of something, we always counterattack by saying to show some evidence. Because that's a human move. But I'm fighting with a witch. I'm taking part in a battle with someone who isn't human. And some moves exist which can only be used in a game against a witch. There are cheap moves! And that's what this devil's proof is. Therefore, evidence is unnecessary. Let's take the assumption that there is a hidden mansion on Rokkenjima separate from the Ishimura family mansion, and that a woman named Beatrice is living there. In order to prove this, one must find this mansion and actually bring Beatrice out of it. That's called actual proof in the human world. Except in the witch world! However, if you follow the rules of the devil's proof, you can't disprove that she exists, even if there's no evidence that she does. Because it's impossible to prove that something doesn't exist. It is impossible. That's right. This devil's proof, which tormented me so much before, I finally managed to use it to my own advantage. Those guys were always trying to force me to accept the existence of the witch by using the devil's proof. That was because, in response to Beato's professions that witches do exist, I physically could not offer any proof that witches don't exist. Right. That is why I have been subjected to this nonsense that witches exist, and why I have been unable to counterattack. But now, you're switching it back, telling them, well, a 19th person exists. And now you're counterattacking with that. And that's why I'll flip over the chessboard right now! If I can disprove that witches exist, then that means if I suggest that a 19th human exists, you can't disprove that either. Correct. Then you're in a standstill of disapproval. Disapproval. But Beato, the thing that she has on her side is the red truth. And if she says in red that a 19th person doesn't exist, it's good game. In other words, the enigmatic mistress in question is craftily hiding herself. So it's perfectly natural that you can never find her no matter how hard you look. So you can't say that the 19th person can't be found equals the 19th person doesn't exist. Because they're actively trying to hide themselves. Therefore, it is impossible to disprove a 19th person. Especially because it's about 30 years. 30 years! No one's been able to find her. So to say that now would be crazy. Beato used the devil's proof to make denying her existence impossible. But this time it's become my weapon. If you can get away with this argument, then never mind the 19th person. This island could be full of people we don't know about. And even if there are 10 or 100 of them hiding, she still can't disprove that they exist. In the last game and the one before that, among the murder scenes that showed up, there were several that were extremely intricate and must have taken a lot of effort to set up. It's very difficult to imagine that a single culprit could have set all of those up. However, if not just a 19th person, but 10 or 100 people were hidden somewhere, that wouldn't be any problem at all. If they all split up the work, they could handle any job in a short period of time. Of course, doubts will naturally arise at whether a large group of people like that could sneak around the mansion without being noticed, but those are all settled by the devil's proof. Correct, yeah, those are all settled, right? You could doubt, oh, how can 100 people sneak in the mansion and do all this stuff without being noticed? But you can also say that there's no proof that they didn't do that, right? That's covered by the devil's proof. There's no proof that they didn't. 100 people didn't sneak in the mansion and do that because guess what? Nobody noticed them, so you can't prove that. Correct, it's covered. Because not seeing 100 people inside the mansion does not disprove that they were there. Exactly. Just because you don't see them doesn't mean that they're not there. I cannot disprove that there's currently 5 people in my house. Oh my god, that would be creepy. I'm supposed to be alone right now, but that would be creepy. Imagine someone shows up behind me right now and kills me. That would be crazy. Then this video won't even go out in public. I've made myself paranoid, man. Now I'm scared, y'all. I'm scared. Guys, I need some... Guys, okay, I'm actually scared now. I'm looking behind me. Hey, if you plan to kill me, wait until I finish recording Umineko, okay? If you plan to do anything with me, okay? If you're in the house. Alright, I'm supposed to be here alone, so I've made myself scared saying that. Let's just keep reading, maybe I'll forget about being scared. Even though I'm saying it myself, it's such a stupid argument that it makes me want to throw up. However, it's because it's such a dirty as hell move that makes it the perfect one to use against the witch. Well, we're only imagining here, but the thought of about 100 suspicious men wearing goat masks hiding in the shadows, that goes beyond funny. It makes me think of cockroaches. If you see one, it means there's 100 hiding in the shadows.
まあ、へりくつまみれの暴論だとは思うぜ。相手が人間だったなら、寝言を言うなと怒鳴られるところだろうよ。
But they're not, they're a witch.
だが、俺の相手は魔女だ。そして、俺たちがやってるのはそういう勝負なんだろう。どんな暴論であろうとも、人間で説明をつけ、魔女を否定する。とにかく、この一手で俺は 二度と親しい18人のみんなを疑わなくて済む。俺は二度と前回の失敗は繰り返さない。
なるほど。
なるほど。
前回の失敗を学ばれているのですね。良いことですよ。さすがに3度もゲームを重ねると容量が良くなるものです。まずは自陣の守りを固める。実に堅実な処方です。なかなかの妙手と思いますよ。
まあ19人目の人物を仮定したとしても、マスターキーの本数などのように何人人間を増やしてもクリアできないトリックも残ってる。しかしとりあえずの初手としては悪くないはずだ。
True, the number of master keys is still gonna trouble you. Because the way they cause locked rooms, right? If it says in red that each of the servants have the master keys, that could cause locked rooms that would be hard to explain with a 19th person or more. That is true. That is true. Hmm.
バトラ様の切り札、19人目の人物という大駒。証拠はあるのかとの私の一手に、バトラ様は悪魔の証明で反撃。良い攻防です。お嬢様のおられないところで勝手に手を進めてしまうのは申し訳ないのですが、私も少し面白くなってきてしまったところです。
You're interested, haha.
お嬢様に代わり、さらに一手進めさせていただきましょうか。
来いよ。
Go for it.
魔女だろうと悪魔だろうと相手に不足はね。
I'll take you all on.
バトラ様の刺された一手、悪魔の証明。
Yeah?
これは私ども悪魔のお箱でございますが、他にも私どもにはいくつもの手がございます。
Okay.
ヘンペルのカラスという一手はご存知ですかな？
Hempel's Raven. I cannot say I know of it, no.
ヘンペルのカラス？
Hempel's Raven.
何の話だ？
What are you talking about? Oh, come on! I was hoping I wouldn't have to hear her cackling again. God damn it. For at least for the time being. But alright, she's back. Alright, what's up? Yeah, Hempel's Raven. What is that about? You've managed to counter my devil's proof? Just then, that laugh, which gets on my nerves every time I hear it, started echoing around. I know, right? It gets on my nerves as well, Battler. I didn't mind it that much at the start, but now I hate it because of how much I hate her. The room was filled with dazzling golden butterflies, and in the center of that whirlwind, the golden witch appeared!
これはお嬢様。おはようございます。
Good morning!
わらわのいないところで何やら面白そうなことをしていると思うが、ヘンペルのカラスか。
Hempel's Raven.
なんとも笑える懐かしい一手を。
Nostalgic?
よもやバトラに披露する日が来ようとはな。それは悪魔の証明に並ぶ古典的一手だ。
Oh, come on!
どの上それはわらわが指す一手ぞ。わらわの楽しみを減らしてくれるな。
出やがったな、ゲラゲラ魔女め。相変わらず下品に笑いやがって。こいつもお前のこと、笑い方に品がねえって陰口言ってたぜ。なあ。
それは心外な。本当か？
めっそうもない。
By no means! That's Cap! Nah. You definitely were mocking her laugh. You're calling it undignified.
心より尊敬申し上げているお嬢様に。
Cap,
この私めがどうしてそのような陰口を申せましょうか。
That's cap, y'all. This is not the proper furniture.
よくもシャーシャーと言えるもんだな。お前とは仲良くなれそうにないぜ。
まあよい。話を戻そう。テンペルのカラスは実証を待遇的に行ってみせる。
Show proof using the contrapositive? Huh?
つまりこういう手だ。カラスが黒いことを証明するにはどうすればいい？
Show that ravens are black. Just literally show me that a raven is black. Are you gonna use the red truth to tell me that a 19th person doesn't exist, or more people don't exist other than the 18? If you're gonna use a red truth to do that, then there you go. Is that the Hempel's raven?
あ？何の話だ？カラスが黒いことを証明ってカラスを捕まえてきて色が黒いことを確認すりゃいいだけの話だろ。
その通り。カラスイコール黒いを証明すればよい。ということは黒くない鳥イコールカラスではないを証明しても同じ論法になるのがわかるかな？
Do you see that if you prove that if a bird is not black, it is not a raven? Right, I see what you're saying. I think. Oh, this is getting a bit complicated for my head. Okay, wait. If I can prove that a raven is black, then all I'd have to do is go like, alright, if a bird is not black, then it's a raven, then it's not a raven. Right? Okay, I think I get it. I don't know how. Wait. my brain is. This is why I won't be able to solve the riddle, y'all. Because I'm too dumb to even figure this out. Okay, wait. Okay, wait. Let me get this straight. Okay. Wait. Okay. First things first. Okay. Right. If I can prove that if it's a raven, it's black. If you prove that if a bird is not black, it's not a raven. If I can prove that... If I can prove that the 19th person is human, then I can also prove that if... if a human isn't the 19th person... If a human is the 19th person, then the 19th person isn't a human. Right? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Because if a 19th person is human, if the 19th person must be human, and then you go, well, okay, the 19th person isn't human, then you know for a fact that the 19th person isn't... What? My brain is hurting. How? Okay, I see what you're saying, but how would this work in the context of there being a 19th person or not? Hmm.
世界中のカラスでない鳥をすべて調べ、それらが黒くないことを証明すれば、それは結果的に、故に黒い鳥はカラスであるとなるわ。これを対偶論法という。
An argument by the contrapositive, okay?
そなたには難しいか?
It's a bit tough to understand, but I'll try to get to the point once you give me your argument. Sorry for skipping you a bit there, by the way.
ああ、まったく。何言ってやがるのかさっぱりだ。
I have no idea what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but I can't connect it to the context of the current situation we're having with the mansion.
バトラ様、こういう例え話はいかがでしょう。
Alright, do that.
2つの箱があり、片方は当たりでクッキーが入っているといたします。もちろんもう片方は外れで空っぽです。
Okay, that's simple enough to understand, yeah? Then what? For example, let us say that we have two boxes here, one being the winner with a cookie inside and the other being the loser, which is empty. Now it holds that if there is a cookie inside, it is the winner. And at the same time, it also holds that if it is not the winner, there is no kicker inside. Yeah? Easy enough. When such a relationship exists, we call the latter the contrapositive. If A then B is true, then at the same time if not B, then not A is also true. Right, yes. I had this in statistics. Guys, I have this in statistics in math. It's kind of like statistics in math that I've done in the past. And statistical calculations in math, they always get to my head because they're so hard to wrap your head around. Because it's like, if you take, it's like chance, right? If you take a ball, you have 6 red balls and 2 blue balls. You take a ball, it ends up being red. If it becomes red, then you have this much left. If it becomes blue, it's that sort of thing. And then you have like P, B. That's okay. I can get into. I don't want to get into more detail, but yes, I get the point. And it's always hard to grasp your head around at first.
そりゃ当然だろう。もし選んだ方が外れだったなら、もう片方は自動的に当たりってことになる。
Yeah.
つまり箱を適当に選び、当たりを引こうと外れを引こうと。
Then you'd always know what the other one is. Whichever box you pick, you'll always know what the other one is. That's the contrapositive, proof by the contrapositive, and you call that the Hempel's Raven.
最初の一手でどっちの箱にクッキーが入っているか特定できるわけだ。
Yep, all you need to do is take one move and you'll be able to figure out all the options, or the other option at least.
その通り。開けた箱にクッキーが入っていたなら、悪魔の証明を満たす。
That was proof you're satisfied. Correct.
この箱は当たり、イコール、この箱にはクッキーが入っている。をまさに実証できるわけだ。しかし、開けた箱が空っぽだったなら、この時は逆に、ヘンペルのカラスを満たす。
Okay, Hempel's Raven is satisfied. Okay.
この箱にクッキーが入っていない。イコール、この箱は当たりではない。
Okay, I get it. Okay, I get it. I think I get it.
そしてそれは、箱が2つしかないことを前提としている限り。
That's important, that there's no more than 2 boxes. Because the moment you had 3 boxes, with 2 empty and 1 winner, then Hempel's Raven is not a thing anymore.
もう片方の箱が自動的に当たりであることを待遇的に示している。
The 2 boxes part is important though, Beto, you have to admit.
まあ、なんとなく理屈は分かったぜ。
Yeah, I think I get it. I think I get it now. I think.
毒を制するには毒。へりくつにはへりくつってわけだ。
Fair enough.
それで、俺の島には19人目の人間が隠れているに違いないから、18人全員にアリバイがあっても、それは魔女を認めることにはならないを、どう切り返してくれるってんだ？
よかろう。わらわの手は教えよう。まずそなた。18人の中に犯人はいない。イコール。ならば犯人は19人目としている。
Okay, Beto, but if you're trying to say that if you prove that the culprit is one of the 18, then that unless you can prove that one of the 18 is a witch, then we're good, right? What are you saying now?
ならば待遇としてこうなるわけだ。つまり犯人は19人目ではない。イコールならば18人の中に犯人がいる。
Yes. Which obviously Beto doesn't want that. Here's my thing. I don't care. The problem is I don't care if the culprit is one of the 18. As long as it's not you, I don't care. But Beto cares. But then how are you gonna prove that the culprit is not one of the 19th person?
はあ？なんだと？それはどういう意味だ？
Exactly. No, she's right. She's right. If you assume no witches exist, okay, Battler? No witches exist, okay? If it's not one of the 18, wait, if it's not one of the 18, it's 19th person. But that means if it's not the 19th person, it's one of the 18. If it's not an outsider, it has to be one of the 18. It can't be a witch. And if Beato can prove that it's not one of the 19, basically what I was saying earlier, I kind of did the contrapositive thing earlier, where if Beato just says in red, there is no 19th person, or the 19th person is not the culprit, then, regrettably enough, it has to be one of the 18. Still doesn't prove that witches exist though.
そなたの指し手を逆手に取っただけだがな。そう難しい話ではあるまい。
Nah, I get it.
ロノウェ、説明せよ。そなたのさっきのクッキーの箱の例えは、バトラにわかりやすいらしい。
I get it.
それでは僭越ながら先ほどの例え話でもう一度ご説明させていただきます。
Allow me to repeat once more my earlier story about two treasure chests, one of which has a cookie in it. In this situation, one of the boxes represents the 18 people and the other box represents the 19th person. So the cookie will represent the culprit. Battler-sama, you open the 18 box. Because the cookie is not there, you have proven from the opposite direction that therefore the cookie is in the 19 box. So if it's not one of the 18, you know it's a 19th person. But also, if you open the 19 and get a cookie, then you know it's empty in the 18 box, so it's not one of the 18. And the opposite is true too. If you open one of the 18 box... No wait, if you open a box and it's not one of the 19, then you know it has to be one of the 18, basically, yeah. In that case, if you reverse things further, we can also say the following. Namely, if it was first shown that the 19 box was empty, it would prove in just the same way that the cookie is in the 18 box. Battler Summon, this move you played in order to avoid having to doubt any of the 18, has in fact been used against you to launch the 18-person attack. Damn, they got me good there.
わらわが19人目の箱の中身が空っぽであることを先に証明すれば、そなたは自動的に18人の箱の中にクッキーがあることを認めなければならないということになる。そなたはそれを逆の言い方で口にしたに過ぎんのだぞ。
Okay, Beato, how are we gonna prove that the 19th person doesn't exist? Do that then.
つまり俺の自信満々の一手は同時に諸刃の剣でもあるってわけか。
It was, but I first need to hear how she can prove. Unless she's just gonna use a red truth. How is she gonna prove that it wasn't a 19th person?
その通りよ。そなたの19人目で全てを説明する一手は、それが破られた時、18人でしか説明できないことを認めざるを得ないリスクを背負っている。
I see. Hempel's Raven. So this is a countering technique? Wait, if I really think about it, this countering technique is far more disadvantageous for me than for her. The problem is in thinking about it like a cookie. If I imagine that just one of the treasure chests is a losing chest with a bomb in it, I can begin to understand it quite well. And if I think of it not as two treasure chests, but as 18, one for each person, plus one more for the 19th person, for a total of 19 boxes, it gets even easier to understand. First of all, one of the premises established by the human culprit theory was that the bomb would definitely be in one of those boxes. Because I hadn't wanted to place the bomb in any of the 18 boxes, I had used the devil's proof, and created the 19th box so that I could throw the bomb in there. That much was alright. But as long as she can prove that the bomb wasn't in the 19th box, then the bomb has to be in one of the 18 boxes. But Beato had struck back like this. If then the 19th box was empty inside, that would automatically mean that the bomb was set in one of the other 18 boxes, exactly. If I could examine the contents of each of the 18th boxes and show that the bomb was not in any one of those boxes, I would be able to safely show that the 18 people were innocent. Except doing that is much harder than proving that the bomb isn't in the 19th person, in the 19th box. Because all you have to do is open that one box. But with the 18 boxes, you'd have to prove it's not in the 18 boxes. However, Battler, remember, the Devil's Proof doesn't limit itself to only a 19th person. It can go up to hundreds, thousands, millions, billions of people. Literally. I mean, okay, maybe not literally. Not in an island like... In an island like Rokkenjima, billions of people can't fit. It's physically impossible. But thousands, or at least hundreds. Hundreds for sure. Alright? It's plausible. Okay? You can question the science behind it, but it's plausible. The Devil's Proof contains that. So you have 18 boxes and then hundreds of boxes. You're still not that disadvantageous there. If that was possible, I would be feeling confident. However, in reality, that's as close as you can get to impossible. The police wouldn't come here in this typhoon. There would be no scientific investigations, no autopsies, no nothing. In short, I can't show anything decisively. It's impossible for me to find any proof other than simply gulping down whatever alibis each of the 18 gave. In that case, I have to confirm their innocence both personally and perfectly. Like staying with someone the whole time, never letting them out of my sight for a second. If I do that, I can probably be sure of that person's innocence, and that the bomb is not in that box. However, in reality, something like that is impossible. In other words, I have to expend an incredible effort just to check the contents of one box. And there are 18 of them. In other words, unless I bind all 18 of them in chains and watch over them, it's impossible to prove that all of them have empty boxes. However, Beato only has to open one box, the 19th box. No, she doesn't! And the 20th, and the 21st, and the 22nd, and the 23rd, all of them! And show that it is empty to prove that the bomb is in one of the other 18 boxes. Furthermore, there's no need for her to show which of the 18 boxes has the bomb. I have 18 times more work to do to explain my pet theory than Beato does for hers. No, you don't! Because like we said, she could have hundreds. The Devil's Proof can cover hundreds. We can create hundreds of boxes. No? Can we not? Am I missing something there?
世の中には悪魔の証明がそうであるように反論に膨大な手間がかかり事実上不可能であるケースが少なくない。しかしヘンペルのカラスはその問題を逆手に取り容易に実証することを可能とする。
Yeah, this visual novel is awesome. I'm learning real-life deduction ability skills now. Like, I'm actually gonna start, like, Devil's Proof and Pel's Raven. I'm actually gonna start, and flipping the chessboard. I'm actually gonna start applying these things in real life if any such occasions arise, bro. Then someone can go like, haha, Devil's Proof, and then I go, well, I played Umineko. I know about a little quirky thing called Pel's Raven, and get back at them. Honestly, feels that would be great. The day that I can use the knowledge, the deduction knowledge I got from Umineko to my advantage is the day. This is all worth it.
テンペルのカラスを使えば様々な暴論が実証可能なのです。
I see. Reckless arguments become possible to prove. I see.
例えば私以外の人間イコール愚かであるという命題があったとします。
All humans except me are foolish. Instead of having to search all humans ever.
これを証明するには本来私を除く全人類を調べ愚かであることを証明しなければなりません。
Yes, you'd have to do that. Or if you use Hampel's Raven. How would that work? Okay, how would that work? If you use Hampel's Raven, what we get is right. If okay, all humans except me are foolish. That means that. Okay, wait. How? Okay, wait. Okay, no. I need to learn how to apply Hampel's Raven. No. I gotta learn this. This is important deduction skills. Now, I'm not gonna have Ronobe explain it to me. Okay. He makes the proposition that all humans except me are foolish. we can trick this in a way so that you don't have to examine all of humanity except for himself to show that they are all foolish. How do we do that? If all of... Can we, with Hempel serving, can we say that if Ronove... Okay. If Ronove isn't foolish, then all humans are. Is that it? Is that what we get? Which means that if Ronove isn't foolish, all humans are. Then Hempel's Raven is tough, you know. Then okay, wait. We gotta figure this out though. We gotta figure this out. Come on, I mean, put your brain to use. I'm dumb, y'all. This is why I'm not gonna solve the riddle, cause I'm dumb. then okay. If Ronove isn't, if all humans are foolish, then Ronove isn't. That means that if Ronove is foolish, then all humans aren't necessarily foolish, right? Is that how Hempel's Raven goes? How did we do it with the 19th person? Okay, with the 19th person, what did we say? We said that you can't prove that a 19th person doesn't exist, right? Okay, so then, if I can prove that it's not the 19th person, then it has to be one of the 18. That's what we said back then. So now we're saying that Ronove isn't foolish. You can't prove that... Okay. You can't prove that all of humanity isn't foolish. Which means that if you can prove that... If you can prove that... Yeah. If you can prove that one person is isn't foolish... Yes, if you can prove that one person isn't foolish, you've been the devil's proof. All humans except me are foolish. If you can, all you have to do is prove that one person isn't foolish. One person, and it's wrong. You can't prove that 19th person doesn't exist. Right? But then if you're able to prove that it's not the 19th person, then it has to be one of the 18. You can't prove that all humans aren't foolish, but if you're able to prove that one human, if you're able to prove that some, or at least one human isn't foolish, then Ronove is not necessarily not foolish. Okay, I think I got it there. I think I got Hempel's Raven there. Basically, all you have to do is prove one. Because he's making the proposition that all humans except him are foolish. Not some humans. He's saying that all humans. You don't have to examine all of humanity and show that they are all foolish. You just have to find the one that isn't. Right? Oh, this one's foolish. Okay, this one's foolish. Okay, this one isn't foolish. That's it. I'm done. I don't have to observe the rest of the 7 billion. I've observed 5, and the 5th one wasn't foolish. That's it. I'm done. I'm done with my job. If I say that there's no such thing as a pink penguin, then all I have to do is find one pink penguin, and I've proved you wrong. I don't have to search all white penguins or whatever. That's a waste of time. Rather than look for every single penguin ever, which is impossible, it is literally impossible to search for every penguin ever, because you cannot prove that another penguin that you haven't seen yet doesn't exist. Rather, all you'd have to do is prove that a single pink penguin exists.
しかし、何十億人も調べるなど、現実には不可能でしょう。
So all you have to do is investigate a few.
バトラ様の18箱を開ける手間と全く同じです。
Yes, investigate all 18 boxes and prove that none of the 18 boxes have bombs in them. None of the 18 people are the ones that are culprits. That will take too long. That's too rough.
しかしヘンペルのカラスならばその命題は待遇的にこう変換される。
I think I get it now. I think I get this Hempel's Raven business now.
つまり私以外の人間イコール愚かであるをそなた風に言うならば、チェス盤をひっくり返し愚かではないイコール私として証明してもよいということだ。つまりどういうことだと思う？
that if they're not foolish, that equals me. And to use your style phrase flip over the chessboard, you merely need to prove that not foolish equals me. What do you think that means?
わらわが聡明であるという事実を知るだけで全人類は愚かであることの何十億人分もの証明が直ちに終了してしまうわけだ。全人類がわらわよりも愚かであることをわずか1秒もかけずに証明終了できる。
No, that doesn't make sense. I'm sorry, Beato. That still does not make sense. I'm sorry. Okay, you're arguing something different than me, Beato. Because that doesn't make sense. Because then you can make all sorts of dumb propositions, Beato. I can say that all humans except me are ugly. If I prove that I'm not ugly, then all other humans are ugly. That's ridiculous. That's such a subjective thing. That makes no sense. Even wisdom is subjective in a way. That makes no sense, Beato. Yeah. This Hempel's Raven is easily countered using that. That makes no sense. No. You're saying that... No, because yeah, the 19th person proposition, that also makes no sense. The Hempel's Raven is all bullcrap with that thought. Because the entire thing changes when you think about it differently. You're saying that if it isn't one in the 19, if it isn't the 19th person, it has to be one of the 18. But how do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know that? You'd still have to... Yeah, no. No, that doesn't work like that. That doesn't work like that, Beato. You can't just be like, oh, it's not the 19th person, then it has to be one of the 18. Because that proposition you made, that makes no sense. If you say that, if it's not one of the 18, it's a 19th person. Oh, my brain is hurting, but basically you cannot make that proposition. That doesn't make sense in my head. No, it's a bullcrap QED. It's bull. No, it's bull. It's a bunch of bullcrap. Alright guys, everyone watching this. I'll say this right now, okay. All humans except for me are ugly. Okay, I'm good looking. I've proved that I'm good looking. All humans except me are suddenly ugly now, all of a sudden. That's not how that... You can't say that! You can't say that! That makes no sense! The entire claim makes no sense. At its core, the entire claim doesn't make sense. That you can't just do that.
これはとてもとても便利な一手ですよ。悪魔どころか神々も好む一手です。幸福であるイコール神のしもべを命題とするとき、待遇は神のしもべでない人間イコール幸福であってはいけないとなります。
Blessed equals God's servant. If a human is not a servant of God, then he must not be blessed. This only works if you're countering someone else's claim, though. You can't use it for your own claim. If someone else, okay, if someone that isn't me says that, alright, all humans except for him are ugly, right? Then the contrapositive is true, that if he's good looking, then all other humans are ugly. And if he isn't good looking, then all other humans are not necessarily ugly, basically. That's the Hempel's Raven you're using again, right? But I don't, at its core, I still don't like, it doesn't leave a good taste in my mouth at its core, for some reason.
つまり神のしもべがその加護によって幸福であることを実証するためには、その加護を受けぬ人々が不幸であることを実証すればいいわけです。
In order for servants of God to prove that they are granted fortune by their divine protection, they only have to prove that those who don't receive that divine protection suffer misfortune. Correct. Correct.
そして彼らは 自らの神を信じない人々を不幸に突き落とすことで自らの幸福を実証する。
人に幸福を与えるには莫大なコストがかかる。しかし人を不幸にするのに必要なコストははるかに安上がりだ。
Man, this is really racking my brain here. This has actually not been easy to understand. Holy crap. Fair play, Umineko. My brain is getting there.
つまりヘンペルのカラスを使えば神々は実に低コストで信者に加護の喜びを与えられるわけよ。
At the lowest cost, right? Because all gods would have to do is bring misfortune on the others, right? They wouldn't have to. Instead of giving joy to those who believe in them, all they'd have to do is bring misfortune on those who don't. Because that's much cheaper. Okay, I think I'm starting to get it. Yeah, she's a witch, but Ronove is literally a demon, mate.
悪魔の理論だ。
Yeah, you're fighting demons and witches, mate.
めちゃくちゃだ。
Come on, what is... There must be a counter to Hempel's Raven. There has to be a counter. If there's a counter to the Devil's Proof, then there must be a counter to Hempel's Raven as well. There has to be. And I think, at its core, Hempel's Raven is dumb.
話がそれてしまったようだな。
At its core, some of it is dumb. You can't just claim that. I don't know.
そろそろ話を戻そうぞ。
Let us return to it.
わらわの反撃の一手は以上だ。そなたの19人目が犯人だから18人は無実で魔女も存在しないへの反撃は、ならば19人目が犯人でないことを証明できたら18人か魔女のどちらかが犯人ということで確定するぞとの確認だ。
And then what she's gonna do next? She's gonna use the red truth. For a while I just stood there, shocked, completely forgetting to close my mouth. Just when I thought that I'd got my own back on them by using their favorite move against them, the counterattack to that had been this reckless argument that I could not even have begun to imagine. Was it really impossible? To continue denying the witch on an island with no more than 18 people, and yet still believe in the innocence of those 18 people. Was that just a delusion? Was I just trying to escape reality? Not yet. Don't give up the struggle yet. Who cares about whoever's Raven? They're just trying to speak in riddles by bringing up some weird bits of trivia. I had to use the Devil's Proof. Don't feel doubt in something once you've used it. Believe in the spear you've lunged forward with. So you're saying it's not a shield, it's a spear all along? Apply even more force and gouge it in.
まだまだ序盤だぞ。この程度で長考するつもりか？
いや待て、確認するぞ。
I want to be sure, okay.
確かに俺は分かりやすく19人目という言い方をしたが。
Yes, there can be more than 19 people. Can you really do that?
悪魔の証明によって18人以上人間を増やせるなら。
Then you can raise it to 1,000. Yes, do that.
それは10人いるか100人いるかもわからない。不特定多数ということだ。
Yes, that's what I was saying at the start, but the fact that Battle didn't do that made me think, okay, what?
お前が想定する人数より常に一人多い。わかるか？
Always one more than you assume, understand? How does Hempel's Raven argue that then? She had returned my twisted logic with something even more twisted. So the only thing that could counter that would be even crazier twisted logic.
なるほど。
なるほど。Alrighty then.
わらわが19人目のアリバイを何らかの方法で証明したとしても
You'd have to do for the 20th person, the 21st person, the 22nd, the 23rd, the 24th, so on and so on, for all of eternity.
その瞬間にそなたは20人目を生み出し犯人だと主張する
Yep. And Pelsriven can't defend against that. You'd have to... The 19th box would have to be all people ever. Every other person ever. And that's impossible. The Devil's Proof catches that.
これを無限に繰り返すことによってわらわは永遠に彼らのアリバイの証明が終えられないというわけか
Yep.
なるほどなるほど
Now give me your next thing. Bombard's dog. Is that your next move? Well, she's gonna come in with some bullcrap next new counterattack move.
さながらイナゴの大群を呼び出す魔王よなさすがは金蔵の孫よ召喚術の才能には恵まれていると見える
What the frick is a locust? It's an insect. Huh. Cool. I've never seen a locust in my life. We don't have those here where I live.
つまり18人以外の存在 X は常にアリバイを証明することが不可能なんだどうだベアトヘリクス合戦だと分かれば俺も負けねえぜ
Twisted logic.
愚かしいぞわらわを誰と心得る
Who do you think I am? What is this? Kamina, is that you? Gurren Lagann? Who do you think I am?
わらわこそは無限の魔女
Why, she can't prove things to the infinity.
そのわらわに無限にて挑むとは肩払いたいわ
Well, absurdity is what we're at now. It's time to go twisted.
無限を操ることはつまり無限を殺すこともできるということ
By using your red truth bullcrap? Don't tell me you're gonna use a red truth.
わらわが19人目を切ればそなたは20人目を切れば21人目を呼び
Whoops.
21人目を切れば22人目を切れば23人目を呼び34人目を呼び6計4358兆2235億7967万3204人目を呼び
She said that a really large number in Japanese. I love that. and they actually translated that. She just went fourth.
わらわを永遠に翻弄で生きるとでも無限交代とは笑わせるわらわに無限は通じぬわ
The infinite doesn't affect me.
ほうならばどうやってこの俺の無限を殺すんだよ見せてみろよ
Oh! By killing me? Really?
わらわには真実を赤で語る力があろうが
Right, you do have that. That's the problem. The problem is the red truth. As long as she says that the culprit, if she says that the culprit is one of the 18, that's it. That's it. We're done for.
来やがったな
Here comes the red truth.
わらわが赤で語るときそこには一切の幻想がない
Alright, well, what are you gonna say in red? It's one of the 18?
わらわがこの島には100人しかいないと一言赤で語ればそなたにはもはや101人目を生み出すことは叶わぬのだ
But still a long time before you prove that that it isn't the 100th person. That's still gonna take you a while.
ほーらバトラ今度はどんな真実を赤で語ってみせようか
You frick.
どんな拠り所を叩き切ってそなたを絶望に突き落としてやろうかそうら いつもの怯えた顔を見せてみるがいい。
She's using the red truth now. I'm gonna end it there, y'all. I'm gonna end it there. Seems like Battler has a counter, and I'm gonna witness the counter. I'm gonna witness the counter next time. We'll see what Battler has to say in reply to her using the red truth next time. We've gone on for long enough. Yeah. I hope you guys have enjoyed this part of Umineko when they cry. Not gonna lie, it has been hard to wrap my brain around, my head around some of the more difficult concepts this time around. Well, Hempel's Raven, but you know, I mean, I think we're getting there. I think slowly but surely, you know, my brain is getting used to this. Now she's in the red truth. Here we go, y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed this part of me when they cry, like I said. Hope you guys enjoyed reading this as much as I enjoyed watching this. And alright, y'all. Peace.